turning out the pilot light, though. All right? I'm keeping some fight in me. I'm not going to be that henpeck guy. Just standing there like, I guess we're making holiday cookies. That dude with the bowed shoulders. She makes them, and then I'm supposed to sprinkle the sugar on them. I don't even think they taste that good, but it's just... No, I stand my ground sometimes. Sometimes I let it go. You just got to figure it out, you know? Like, we had a fight the other night. She got so mad at me. She was like, you know, you can just sleep downstairs. You can just sleep downstairs. I couldn't believe it. It's one of the most arrogant things I've ever heard in my life. Can you believe that one adult telling another adult where they can sleep? You can just sleep downstairs. Like, I was just going to sit up in bed and grab a blanket like Linus. All right. Hey, where downstairs, by the way? Like, over here downstairs? Or like more over here? Where should I sleep? It's like, are you out of your mind? I go, I'm not sleeping downstairs. She's like, where are you going to sleep then? I'm like, where I always sleep. I will fucking sleep on your side of the bed if I want to. What are you going to do? I'm bigger than you. I'll hang on to the covers. Try to get me out. No tickling. Go ahead. Yeah. I was like, you don't tell me where to sleep. I sleep where I want to sleep. She's like, well, you don't tell me where to sleep. I'm like, I'm not the one telling people where to sleep. It was one of those classic relationship fights. It's like 2 a.m, you're both half naked. She's not wearing a bra, you got half a ball hanging out. Like, and another thing. I need to say this. The other day, I felt slighted. Yeah, it's fucking unreal. But what kills me is that there's actually guys out there that will actually listen to that shit. Yeah, you talk to them, they'll be, hey, how's it been going? Oh, you know, been rough last couple of nights downstairs on the couch. You know how that is, right? No, I don't. I don't understand. Yeah, how did you get yourself into that situation? Like, what are you afraid of? What is she gonna do if you say no? What, is she gonna fucking choke slam you onto the kitchen table? Look, I understand if you're dating some woman and she does that UFC, MMA shit, then you gotta sleep what she says to sleep. You got to. She's gonna come at you, well, let's get you in an armbar. All right, tapping out. Or even worse, she chokes you out. You wake up on the couch like 11 minutes later, like... Just grab your jacket off the back of the couch. I fucking hate when she does this. It's like, it's not even fair. Have a debate like a normal person. All right? I'm going to talk somebody down from a ledge here. Someone who's actually been sleeping on the couch, okay? So there's the first fear. Out the window. Okay? She can't physically dominate you, so that's gone. What's the next fear? She's going to cut off the sex. Yeah, rub one out. Neutralize. It's the most empty threat there is. Do it right in front of her. Join me! Yeah. I've never understood that threat. That's like somebody putting a chain around your refrigerator, but you got a sandwich in your pocket, right? A never-ending sandwich. Like some biblical shit, like Jesus with the fucking bread or whatever, right? So now, what's the last thing she can do? What can she do now? Be moody? You can't handle that? You know, walk by the TV without looking at you? Only make herself something yummy out in the kitchen? Who gives a fuck? Dude, my wife does that. I just sit there. I just start commentating. Oh, here she comes again, walking by the TV. She really must be mad. She's never body slammed me once, ever. I'm not saying to be a dick, all right? I'm just saying you got to keep them honest. Every once in a while, you got to have a little pushback. Yeah. The rest of the shit. I'm learning that about women. You just kind of you want to keep them calm. Keep them calm, like a rescue dog, right? Just, everything's cool. Everything's cool. Just, yeah, this is great. I'm having a great time, you know? Oh, no, your friends are awesome. Very interesting party. I am talking to people. I'm talking to people. I am having a good time here. That's what you do. You just do that enough. Then when you bark back, you got a little something. Like, here's an olive branch I've extended to. Is basically, we fight a lot over television. So, I don't know. I've kind of come her way. She's come my way. She watches a little bit of sports. I occasionally will watch like a romantic comedy, which, I don't care. The nerd's going to fuck the cheerleader. I'll watch it, right? I don't mind them. It's an uplifting story. I just don't like the love scenes in romantic comedies. They creep me out. They're just so fucking nice. It's like missionary style. There's candles. That stupid saxophone music. It always goes down. Like the saxophone implies the penetration, right? Because they can't show it. They got to make her this one-dimensional, this little angel. They ignore the other 90% of her sexuality. No hair pulling, no ass slapping, none of that shit. None of that taboo stuff of a woman's sexuality that's never brought up. You know, that whole hold me down, but let me up, but hold me down. Choke me, but let me breathe, but kind of scare the shit out of me a little bit. I want to feel your power, but I want to be safe, but let me know if you really want it to. You know, that whole 50 Shades of Rape, whatever the hell that is. Yeah. I don't even pretend to understand it. I remember the first time a woman wanted to get me to like choke her a little bit. I didn't even know what she was doing. I was just so psyched to be getting laid. I was just, and she just kept taking my hand and she kept putting it like right here. And then I didn't know what she was doing. I thought she was like testing my core strength or some shit. I was just like. And finally, I was just like, what are you doing? She's just like, I don't know, just kind of like, you know, like squeeze a little bit. Yeah, it's kind of like squeeze it. Why don't you want to do it? It'll be fun. Why don't I want to do it? I don't think I want a passed out naked woman with my fingerprints all around her neck. Having the cops show up. Yeah, she's in here, officer. Damn this thing. It was her idea. I swear to God, it was her idea. Yeah, they always make it nice in those movies. Like the raciest thing they'll do is maybe every once in a while they kiss up against a wall. You know, I guess women like walls. I didn't know that. There's a lot of up against the wall kissing. Oh my God, it's the wall. Oh my God, it's supporting me. Maybe he'll support me. It's a metaphor. I love it. Right? Yeah. I saw one the other night. They were doing that, and then out of nowhere they started having sex up against the wall. And I'm like, finally, something a little bit more interesting, right? But they were doing it standing up facing each other, missionary style. Arguably, one of the most difficult positions there is.
I think this is where I want to go.
I can't believe you know where you're going. I never can understand how to get.
Well, then why don't you shut up and enjoy the ride?
I looked at you and I knew you wanted an egg.
Did you see my Adam Sandler interview?
Kevin Nealon. Dude, people told me that you fanned out so bad. This is how much I love you. This is how much I love Bert Kreischer. When you were like this, hang on a second. Hang on, Adam, hang on a second. I have a story I want to tell.
Dude, the Me Too movement has killed the blowjob. My wife will not suck my dick on her knees ever again. It never will happen.
Because your stomach is pushing down her fucking neck.
Her face is tilted back like this on her forehead, just
Yeah, it's like going down in an 8-foot pool down to the bottom and not clearing your ears. I feel bad for your wife.
What do you do?
We're doing it tonight.
I don't understand why they just can't word it like so you can understand it. They always word it where like no means yes, yes means no, or there's something fucking attached to it that's not in the paragraph. I don't get any of that. You okay, Bert? Or did I,
Yeah. No, I was gonna say we're doing.
I don't want to talk politics, dude. I fucking hate talking politics.
Hey, listen, you motherfucker! I've tried to say the same sentence 4 times. Okay.
I'm sorry.
Jesus Christ! And then when I gave you time, you're like, "What, Bert? We're not talking." I was going to do it again, and you cut me off again.
Well, just tell me to shut up.
What's a flaw that Nia has that you love?
My wife is fucking gorgeous.
But what's a flaw?
And she has a fucking J-Lo body, dude. She's fucking gorgeous.
But what's a flaw that you see in her sometimes and you go, but now I love it?
Physical?
Anything. She can't be without flaw.
Oh, no, yeah, her fucking, personality shit. You're gonna get me in trouble here.
How do you pronounce the word C-E-M-E-N-T?
C-E-M-E-N-T?
Yeah.
Cement.
Cement.
Cement? Hey, let me tell you something. You keep talking wise, you're going to end up with a pair of cement shoes.
Cement
oh, my God, that's right. That's how they say it. Cement. I didn't know that.
I lived with two lesbians in New York, and I was fresh out of college. I didn't know anything about anything diverse. And
Can I watch you two get it on while I have my shirt off? What did I say? And then I come on your face? No? That's not cool? I paid half my rent. Technically, why am I paying half? If you bitches, you should be a third and a third. If I'm paying 50%, I gotta be able to see the two of you go down on each other. And then they flipped out.
I pronounce a lot of words wrong, but like I think it's I always say massage. Like if I get a massage. It's a massage.
Massage.
A massage.
Massage.
Massage. Oh, okay. Here we go. How do you say? You ready for this? Buffet.
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 Buffet. No, you don't. You're gonna get your ass kicked. Hey, let's walk across this cement over to the buffet.
I am on the wagon, Bill. December 1st. All dry December. No booze. Going pescatarian. I'm cleaning my life. No cigars. I'm going healthy, Bill.
I got to tell you something, man. That's commendable too, because that's one of the hardest times. Is that a beer? I thought that was a Guinness you just poured.
No,
I was like, oh my God, I walked into a bit. What is that?
It's an iced coffee.
Dude, that would have been the greatest setup ever. And as I'm singing your praises, you just bust out a black and tan, whatever the hell that looked like.
For exactly $619,000 right there. You're right on the corner. You got coffee, coin laundry.
Well, that's the amazing thing about LA is like
breastfeeding.
Oh, there you go. We got to support that, right?
Yep.
What did you do if I rolled down the window and you saw this whole conservative side of me? Hey, take that inside! Take it inside! I don't have to look at that. English!
English! ONION.
You got to go slower, dude. I'm too dumb. There was just a lot of O's in that. I didn't know where you were going. O-N-I?
O-N.
On it, Joe Rogan.
ONION. You cut one and they make you
cry. Yeah. Now you're in my head because it seems so easy. Onion.
An onion. Onion.
I'm calling bullshit. You're just fucking with me.
No, it's ANAH-NION. So it's onion.
Onion.
Where did you get this sandwich?
Right down on the corner. This Italian place.
Yeah.
And I was nervous when I walked in because there was nobody in there, and they were playing Frank Sinatra music. And I was like, they're trying too hard. I mean, they already got the red and white, you know? He doesn't something, and she does this. She's got a big twat that I'm gonna kiss. It's the 1940s. I'll leave her on the side of the road.
I can still hit her. She talks back.
Yeah. I love this neighborhood because it's closer to the airport, and that guy's scratching his balls with fucking extension cord. Did you just see that? That guy was just full on raking his pubes.
You know that people wrote articles on your special, Paper Tiger. You know Paper Lion. You know that people got paid to do what? It was Paper Tiger?
I like Paper Lion better.
Paper Lion was the name of the book, right?
I don't know, but I love Paper Lion.
Isn't that crazy?
Wait a minute. Hey, we got a Paper Lion. I think that's gonna be the part 2.
Yeah.
Dude, you are my favorite comedian. I love Paper Lion. Thank you.
Here's a good one, okay? How do you pronounce pronunciation? This is really a fun fucking, so this is, do you see that, Bill?
Yeah.
It's not pronunciation, pronunciation, it's pronunciation.
No, you're getting too far into the sound spell. It's pronunciation.
Pronunciation.
But it's not pronunciation.
Pronunciation.
Yeah, you're doing that. You're doing the Adam Sandler, Cajun man. Pronunciation.
Wait, would your wife get upset if she saw you looking at like Asian chick porn?
No.
What if it was white chick porn?
No.
So you can like float all the boundaries.
She understands that porno is not a real person.
No, I think my wife, if it was like Asian chicks, my wife would be like, "What's up with that?" Like she'd want me to be looking at porn that looks like her.
She's a white supremacist porn person?
Yeah.
They really did own slaves.
The callback. Bam! That's how it works, people.
The two interviews are H3H3 and Theo Vaughn, where everyone's like, "Did you see that interview?" And by the way, knowing you, I don't see anything wrong with the interview.
I had a great time on the Theo Vaughn thing. I don't know what the fuck happened with that.
I don't know either.
I left that. We had a good time. I showed him my truck. We had a great fucking time.
I thought you guys had a great time. I thought it was a great interview. I think it is, I knowing both of you, you were not you, and he was not him.
Yeah, and that's the thing. I'll do his podcast again. And the thing about it is I understand his vibe more.
Yeah.
So it's just
his
like
vibe
anything.
is tough to gel with. Like if you're completely in the dark of what you're doing, it takes you a second to like double dutch into it.
He's one of my favorite comics.
Dude, he is.
Yeah, I don't
so
got it.
Fucking
So
funny.
like. People like to take a little fucking thing and then gas it up and make it something else, and then it becomes like, that's all they're doing.
That's
like
all.
What's funny is the average douchebag on these fucking social media is no different than these giant corporate news agencies where they're just taking shit out of context to cause something that didn't even happen, so you'll stop and watch it. So they can make money off of views.
Yeah.
And people on the internet do the exact same thing. They know exactly where to cut it, where to begin it, and where to end it to take it from a level 2 up to fucking 12.
I watched you and Theo's whole interview, didn't find anything wrong with it, including what people will say is how it ended, which is you going, I have to go, I have to leave now.
Yeah, my kid was getting up. It had nothing to do with him.
And then I watched the you got to see this interview with Bill and Theo, and they chop it up to make it look like you don't like him, you don't get him. And
they do that with Rogan, where they'll do like his reaction, that guy, and they totally make a completely different interview that didn't even happen.
Oh yeah, you don't have to tell me about that. That's all my interviews.
Yeah, so why would you watch that shit? I don't watch it.
I watch it, but I don't know. But that doesn't.
You know what? Fuck you, Bert.
They're gonna cut this up now.
Like, let's play a game. I'll just name different people you see and see the slides that come into your head, right? Construction worker, sports fan, painter, skateboarder, lesbian. Right? It all goes blank. Is that a lesbian? I mean, I have gay friends, but I've never noticed any sort of a through line. Listen, people, I'm not saying all lesbians look alike. I would never say some ignorant shit like that. However, I am saying, though, every once in a while, there's a fucking layup. Flat top, wallet chain, fucking walking up the street. Right? But even then, I'm not saying 100%. But gun to my head, I gotta go lesbian. Gotta go lesbian. Final answer, show me lesbian. I'm not hurting anybody. Think about it. You eat a cheeseburger, that's protein. That's good for your muscles, right? And I don't know about you guys, but after I rub one out, I'm more relaxed. I'm less likely to lash out at my fellow man. I'm in a great space mentally. I think they just make it all up. But it's weird, though, because I'm kind of feeling this thing, because I haven't been to church in a while. I'm kind of feeling like, I want to go back, but I need a new religion, man. That's why I'm kind of between religions right now. Like, I used to be Catholic, but, I can't be Catholic anymore, once they started fucking the kids, I was just like, all right, dude, you know what? I'm out, okay? You guys party way too fucking hard for me, okay? I didn't see that page in the book. I don't know what you guys are doing. I can't believe they're still in business. People are still showing up. Name one other business that could survive that shit. You think if they were fucking kids at Walmart, they could sell rakes the next day? And just try to play it off like, yeah, we had a little problem in aisle 8, but, we got some slacks over here. We got kitchen appliances. We got some hula hoops. Now look, I know you're not supposed to make fun of fat people. I understand, all right? I don't know why, though. Why? They're not a race. They're not a religion. It's totally curable. eat an apple, and go for a walk. You know? Why are you yelling at everybody else? The fuck are you giving me shit for? All right? You put the cookies in there. I didn't. How is this my problem? Jesus Christ, you ate your way in, you can walk your way out. All right? And just slowly start shedding the pounds. Shove some fucking lettuce in there instead of a bunch of ho-hos, and it's gonna come down, and then you're on my side of the fence, right? Join me. Come on, say it with me. Shame. Shame! Right? This might be the most arrogant thing I say all night, but I actually resent the fact that I'm gonna get judged someday. Like, if that's true, that somebody's gonna judge me, like, doesn't even make any sense. It's like, dude, you made me, so this is your fuck up, all right? Let's not try to turn this around on me, you know? You give me freedom of choice, you make whores, you have me suck at math, and you don't think this thing's gonna go off the rails? Like, you set me up to fail, and now you got the balls to now question your own goddamn work. Dude, if I made a car, if I built a car and it didn't run, I wouldn't, like, burn it forever. You evil piece of shit, light it on fire. I wouldn't. I would troubleshoot. Is there gas in the engine? Is the battery charged? Anything beyond this, I gotta get a real man to look at it. But I believe in you. I'm gonna try and help you out. Let's have a little empathy here. Put yourself in a lesbian's shoes. Who do lesbians date? Women. Who do they move in with? Women. Who do they get in relationships with? Women. Who do they eventually marry? Women. And I was thinking, like, oh my God, I did that. I know what it's like to live with one of those fucking things. I know exactly what that's. It's hopeless. Trying to make them happy. Hey, I bought you the shiny thing. Did I do it right? Huh? Trying to get them to take responsibility for their actions. Not gonna happen. The best you're gonna get is I'm sorry, but I know what it's like to be winning a fucking argument. You're winning, and then they turn it around. They're crying. You're apologizing. You're thinking, what the fuck just happened? How am I losing this shit? I had you on the ropes. You feel so dumb. You gotta go for a walk, and you're just thinking, how did I lose again? And then you figure it out. It makes you feel stupid, and then you see some bald idiot with a giant orange mustache, and you're like, you know what? Why don't you take some of that shit? I gotta tell you, the way white women somehow hijack the woke movement, generals around the world should be analyzing this. The woke movement was supposed to be about people of color, and it was about that for about 8 seconds. And then somehow, white women swung their Gucci-booted feet over the fence of oppression and stuck themselves at the front of the line. My leg is so hard, with my SUV and my heated seats. You have no idea what it's like to be me. Trash and white guys, the nerve. Where's the camera? The nerve of you white women. You guys stood by us toxic white males through centuries of our crimes against humanity. And occasionally, when you wanted to sneak off and hook up with a black dude, if you got caught, you said it wasn't consensual. Yeah, that's what you did. So why don't you shut up, sit down next to me, and take your talking to? So now it's like I'm in this weird place where I'm not in any religion right now. Unrestricted free agent. You know? I'd like to believe in something, so I've been going around asking people what their shit is, and I haven't been able to find anything. I'm trying to be open-minded. I was doing a gig in Helsinki, and over there, they're like Lutheran. And what they believe when you die, you're dead. And that's it. Dead. Like a pigeon, just laying there. Over. Blew my mind. I'm like, really? You're just dead like this? You don't... Like my religion was, you know, you die and then you go up to get judged, right? God pops in the DVD of your life. Oh, I don't know about this right here. Mind explaining yourself? Actually, I had this black dude moved in my building, man. Lives on the same floor as me. He's one of these dudes. Every time he's hilarious. Every time he says some shit, right after he's done saying the shit, he repeats like the most important part of like the previous sentence. It's hilarious. Everything he said will be like, yo, my man came in. He put that shit on the table. Put it on the table. Yo, this country's at war, son. War! I'm just looking at my friend like, dude, did you hear him the first time? Because I heard him the first time. I was smiling. I was nodding. Actually, I got a couple of friends of African persuasion. I got to get rid of them, man. I got to admit to you. I'm finding I'm spending too much money on clothes hanging out with them. It's like every time they go out, they got all brand new shit on. So when I show up with my white version of brand new, which is, I ironed the shit, right? I ironed it, right? It's new. They just start trashing me. And I don't give a shit what fucked up color their shirt is. They got a pair of shoes to match it and a hat. It's like a rule or something. Because God forbid you wear the same shirt within a 10-day period. One of them's gonna notice. All of a sudden just look at you funny like, this motherfucker's got the same shit he had on last Tuesday. It's the last thing they cured. Do you know what fake legs looked like when I was a kid? Huh? First of all, there was only one color. It was like Band-Aid color, and everybody knew you had a fake leg, and you were fucking walking down the street, and you've got a fake leg. What do you think happened? Motorcycle accident. Fell down a flight of stairs. Got impatient with a wood chipper, right? Everybody knew you had a fake leg. Now, if you have fake legs, you're not allowed to compete with people with real legs in the Olympics because not having legs is now more of an advantage than having real legs. Doctors make better legs than God. All right, your calves and your feet flopping around are no match for a couple of sickles. These people just skiing down the fucking street. You get them by some train tracks that go downhill, you're never gonna see them again. I saw a woman a couple months back, professional soccer player, right? She goes on to ESPN or one of these sports channels, and she starts bitching, going like, I don't understand, how come female athletes don't make as much as male professional athletes? Right? And all of these men had to sit there and act like they didn't know what the answer was. They had to sit there like dumbfounded, like, I don't know. Why is that? I'm sitting at home screaming at the TV because you don't sell any fucking tickets! Nobody is going to women's soccer games! You're playing in a 20,000 seat arena. 1,500 people show up. That's not a good night. The promoter lost his fucking ass on that gig. I'm not saying no professional female athletes, Serena Williams, the women in the UFC, but nobody's watching your fucking sport. And then you're gonna come and you're gonna get mad at fucking men. They keep doing that shit. Why are you yelling at us?
10 episodes are available to binge watch. Bill Burr, welcome to Good Day New York.
How are you? Thank you for having me.
Well, the show is so funny. I'm just, is it based on your real life, or is it,
Yeah, no, it's definitely based on my life, but it's, Frank is the character that I play. He's an amalgam of kind of everybody's dad in the writer's room, and he's an old school dad. Like when I was a kid, you were like afraid of your dad. Like he pulled in the driveway, he'd come in the front door, we'd all run out the back door.
Right, wait till your father comes home,
yes,
right?
Yes, absolutely. So it's more of that era. It's not this, era now where your kids are like friends with their dad. I was like afraid of my dad. Not in a bad way. Like I just knew that, when he came home that
things were going to fly.
Yes, your behavior. We used to shut the TV off and like pick up books pretending to be like reading. And I remember he used to like, if he was in church, he had like the loudest snap. And if you guys were talking too loud, he just bam like that, and everybody just shut up, and then you knew you were going to get it later.
You mean get it? It's fun. You get on stage, you talk about topics that are kind of taboo, but you make them really, really funny.
So your Christian background is part of the show. Or at
yes,
least
and I wanted to talk to you about Jesus after this.
Well, the only reason why I bring it up is some people thought maybe you went a little too far.
As far as what?
Well, they thought that maybe you were being disrespectful to the Christian religion.
Who did?
I'm telling you, you need to Google.
Oh, good Lord.
So did you feel you were being disrespectful, or just you were just having fun with some of the crucifixes and stuff like that?
I don't even know what we did maybe 2 jokes about that.
Yeah, exactly.
Don't you think the Catholic Church went a little too far? More so than my cartoon.
All right, listen.
A couple of jokes. I know this is a morning show. You can't bring up all those crimes.
You know what? Technically,
they just sort of kept moving them around. Like those killer whales at SeaWorld. After it kills a trainer, they'll then move it up to Seattle. They don't give them their background.
All right, I'm not totally following, but I don't think
I want to. You know what I'm
to.
talking about? It's a morning show. I understand.
I
came on.
Positive.
That kid missed the graduation, and then it was a feel-good story.
It was a feel-good, and we want to leave.
If you want to feel good about America, you watch the morning shows. You don't watch this,
And
we were joking earlier. If that kid's story about the graduation was late night, that would have been a whole different story.
What do you think?
He's still missing. We can't find him. All we found was his hat. But you watch in the morning. It's great. It all worked out. He got his own personal graduation. Like, I was in such a great mood. Look how yellow this couch is. It's like the sun.
So F is for family. I mean, it's really, politically incorrect before politically incorrect was even a term.
Yeah, and I think, you know, a lot of that stuff. What you were saying earlier, you talk about taboo subjects. It's like nothing I really talk about. It's not that people aren't talking about all of this stuff. It's just that there's sort of a way that people talk when they get on a stage or something like that. But it's not like, you know, people they laugh because they're already talking about it. So it's not that big a deal.
We all have dark thoughts sometimes, but you go there in public and you do it, even though it's edgy, kind of make it safe in a way.
Yeah, well, what's going to happen? I'm just talking. I mean, it's not like I'm not doing anything insane. I will tell you, though, I did stand up here 2 shows last night, and I cannot believe New York crowds now.
Why?
It is so like,
Oh, they were doing that during
yeah,
the show?
I moved here. I remember when I moved here in '94. It was, you remember Alphabet City? You were taking your life in your hands, and it was like junkies and stuff like that. So it was just really like a lot harder than to like even like impress people. And now, I mean, I don't know.
Again, the good old days.
Yeah. Anyway,
you know what? They don't even call it Alphabet City anymore. You know that? They
When-
call it like the Lower East Side. Things, gentrification,
Oh,
whatever.
was that offensive to illiterate people?
Anyway,
This town has changed.
F is for Family. Obviously, Netflix and the people who watch it love your show. Were we able to find a clip that we could clean up?
We got something. We got
You
something.
found
We got
something.
something.
Wow.
We got
Might be a couple of
something.
beeps. Check it
It's
out.
just the intro.
This guy really speaks to me. Good stuff, Bill.
It's a
thank
little
you.
Archie Bunkerish, a little, right?
Yes. Yeah, well, I mean, it is that time. And when we did, like, the 70s, we wanted it to look like how I remember the 70s, where Hollywood kind of always makes it look like everybody had a lava lamp and dressed like Ron Burgundy. This is more like the sort of Rust Belt Serpico 70s. Like, you know, anytime you see a movie about, like, the 70s, everybody has a car from the 70s. It was like, there was, you know, people didn't have money. They'd have a car from the 60s. So if you look, there's a lot of... that's one of my favorite things to like pick out what car they're gonna have. Like Frank drives like an old like Ford Galaxy-esque type car before Ford comes at us for money.
You're right, though. Movies from the 70s, they overdo it. They all overdo it when they're going retro, right?
Well, they make it seem like when the Pacer came out, like everybody thought that was a good-looking car. It was a weird car.
With the big window?
Yeah, me and my mother looked at it. That is the ugliest piece of you-know-what I've ever seen in my life. But they made it seem like everybody in the 70s had like a lava lamp and thought that was a good-looking car.
So, Bill, do you Google yourself? Because I was like Googling the show.
No, God knows.
I was Googling the show.
I get trashed enough on Twitter. Do you know when I did the show last night? This is how like the millennials are, right? Somebody, I was wearing this exact same thing. You know, I'm on the road, so I got a nice stain on my shirt. So I was wearing this exact same thing. I go on Twitter, and somebody wrote, you know, Bill Burr last night dressed like an out-of-shape Jerry Seinfeld.
What?
So, like, yeah, I wrote back. I can't say what I wrote back. I wrote back.
You did?
So-and-so. Yeah, it's like, why don't you heckle me when you're there?
But why would you even respond on
Everybody is
Twitter?
sassy online, not in your face.
Sassy.
Why?
Exactly. This is New York. Back in the day, I would walk on stage. Someone would have said that, and I would have had to fight my way out of it, and it would have been a tough set. And this person's just, everything's like so covert now.
I feel bad because, by the way, you're ripped.
Huh?
You're in pretty good shape.
But why respond to somebody who's being negative to you on Twitter?
Because it's fun. I like going back and forth, and then you can usually... Well, this is my deal. If you actually have a picture of yourself, then I'll go back and forth. But if you just have, like, the little egg thing there, like those, you know, 2 followers, then those people, it's like, you just came up with an account or whatever, or you just go around trash people. To me, that's like a cowardly thing. But, like, you know, if I can see you, you know, and you're out of shape, or maybe you're ugly or something like that, I'll go right for it. I'll get real childish.
Growing up, by the way, with the mother with the hairbrush and the dad, where was that? Where'd you grow up?
I grew up outside Boston, Massachusetts. The safe suburbs of Boston, Massachusetts. Because ever since Good Will Hunting, everybody thinks, you know, you grew up in Southie and you stole cars and you asked people about apples.
They overdid it too, didn't they?
Yeah.
Let me ask you about your Christian background.
No, nobody overdid Southie back then. Like, I'm just saying I was not that, you know. I was more of a, you know, cul-de-sac street hockey playing kid.
Bill Burr.
F
like
is
the
for
moon.
Family.
There you go.
F is for Family on Netflix, out right now.
He'd be a little more comfortable if he threw some trash around the studio, right? He misses the old New York, and you're not the only one.
I want to meet those religious people that got upset. I want to quiz them on their religion.
All right, we'll talk about, why did I bring that up? Bill,
Why did you bring it up?
I'm sorry.
It's a morning show. This is supposed to be an easy one.
You know what happens? 9 o'clock, it all becomes daytime, so you got more license. Bill Burr, thank you.
Thank you for having me.
All right, cool.
Human beings have empathy. Some woman will fall in love. Well, he's nice. He wears a sweater. He likes to bake. You know, he lets me finish my stories. Which is all great qualities. Okay? But you gotta know, When you shack up with a guy like that, you're rolling the dice. You're rolling the dice that fucking axe murderer is going to pick the next house over. Because God forbid he picks your goddamn house. This is the dude who has your back, who's going to be screaming louder and higher than you when this guy comes through the fucking door. And you're going to turn around and all you're going to see is his cowardly feet going out the kitchen window. I don't know, man. That's risky. You know, reality, I'm being too hard on that guy, you know? Yeah, I am. Because I was just as scared as he was. Except I didn't scream out like he did. And that's simple. The simple reason was this dude, he was hugged too much as a child. Having people go, how was your day? What's wrong? And all of that shit, you know? That's why I came down here, man. I'm telling you. I came out here to tell you guys, you got to stop hugging your children. You know? You are ruining this country. Now, you can hug your daughters. You got to do that. You got to do that. Hug those hooker shoes right out of them. Let them know that you're a good man and to find another man like you. You got to do that. But your son, you can hug him a little bit, but every 3-4, you got to fucking knock him down, right? Come on, it didn't hurt. Get up. Look, I didn't come from a family. I don't know about you guys. I didn't come from a touchy-feely. Call me when you get there. None of that shit. First time my mom hugged me, I think it was like once when I was little, and then when I moved out. That was it. And we only hugged because we knew we were supposed to. So we just tried to it was like 2 parking meters came to life. Like, we almost bumped heads. It was horrific. Fucking horrific. You know, to this day, sometimes I drive down the street and I think about that hug, and it's just it's so awful, I have to shout the memory out of my head. I'll just be driving down the street, just be like, ah! Ah! Anybody else like that? You ever have to shout stuff out of your head? There's something about me, all my regret comes up when I'm in the shower. I don't know what it is. I think because I'm in the shower and I have time to think. And I'll just think of shit I did in 3rd grade, where I just made an ass of myself, and I just will be in the shower just being like, ah! Ah! And my wife's always just like, is everything okay in there? And I'll just be like, yeah, just accidentally turn on the hot water. Turn it on too much. Every day? So, yeah. I actually asked my mother one time when I finally got out in the world and I saw how other families interacted. I finally asked her one day, I was like, how come we never did the hugging thing? You know what I mean? How come we didn't do that stuff? She's like, well, I wanted to hug you kids when you were little, but I was afraid it was going to make you gay. And I was like, you were afraid? You were afraid? And then she goes, well, it was your father. That's what it was. Protecting him like I always do. He was afraid. He said, you don't know how to raise boys. And if you hug them, that's what's going to happen. So in a marriage, there's compromises. So. Yeah. So she basically never hugged us because my dad said if she did, it was going to make us gay. And I got to tell you, that was a great thing that my dad did for me. Let me finish before you start blogging, okay? And I end up on a split screen on Good Morning Atlanta, you know? Comedy, can it go too far? Last night at the Tabernacle. Sitting there next to some fucking Cheeto-eating blogger. So, yeah, this is the deal. I'm going to defend my dad here because this is basically what happens when you have a kid. As far as I know. I don't have any kids. But as far as I would think, if you have a fucking kid, what do you want to do? You want to improve on your childhood. Okay? You want to keep the shit that your parents did that worked, and then you want to get rid of the stuff that didn't work. So that was my dad. As fucked up as that was his improvement on his childhood that he never talks about, the way a veteran doesn't talk about going to war. You know? So I figure if that was his improvement on his childhood just must have been something like, don't change his shitty diaper. Let him figure it out for himself. Get out in the rain, you shitty baby. Hey, let me handle this, lady. Why are you still standing here, you shit toddler? So, he took it from that and knocked it down to, don't hug him, it's going to make him gay. Right? And then maybe someday I have a kid, I'll whittle it down to hey, he's not taking drama class. All right? He's not taking drama class because I said so, lady. Let me handle it. I won't fix everything. Yeah, and that's not a homophobic thing either. that I wouldn't send my hypothetical son to drama class, okay? It isn't. I'd let my hypothetical daughter take a drama class, okay? My son can't fucking do any of that shit unless I'm sending him to one of those fame high schools, you know, where everybody's doing it. One of those creative schools. You go to the cafeteria, everybody's like, cottage cheese, what is it made of? Right? Like, then he can do all he wants. And he can do all the fuck he wants. But there's no way I'm letting him do that at a public school with those goddamn animals. He's gonna get the shit kicked out of him. He's gonna come home with his underwear up his ass, and then I have to be the adult and go down to the principal and be like, oh, there's some sort of tomfoolery going on around here. I don't want to do that. I want to find the fucking 8-year-old. What is he, this tall? I want to find the kid that did it to my kid, tip him upside down into some sand or a puddle, anywhere where oxygen is going to be an issue, right? And just leave him there. Right? And you wait till that one leg just starts shaking so you know he's down to his last breath. And then you turn him upside down, you're upside right, you grab him by his throat, and you just say something horrific. You ever do that again, I'm going to beat your mother to death with the family dog. Right? Over. So, yeah, a lot in my life has changed since I last came through here to Atlanta. Yeah, I got married. That's the big thing. Yes, I did. Very happy about that. I'm very happy with that because it was starting to get weird, you know? It's like 45 years old. Oh, my girlfriend. Yeah, we're going to go out and get some pop, you know? Going to parties, it was just weird. Because I hang out with people my age, you know, and they all got married, they all had kids, and I just couldn't contribute when people were standing around talking about marriages and kids, you know? I feel like a little kid. They're sitting there going like, oh, the superintendent of the mayoral candidate will be bi-coastal, bipartisan with the Middle Eastern crisis. And it just...
No means no, that's another one. No means no. It's like, no, it doesn't. All right? Look, no means no. No, that means no. All right, but no, stop it. What are you doing? Oh, my God. You're being so bad. Stop it. No. Yeah, that's not a fucking no. That means I want to do it, but I'm afraid you're going to judge me, so I'm just going to make it look like it was your idea so you don't figure out that I've already performed this act with 40 other fucking people. Right? But then you go to court and you get a bad read and there's some guy reading it. Your Honor, she said no. Stop it. What are you doing? You're being so bad. Yeah, and you're just sitting there like, she didn't fucking say it like that! She didn't say it like that! Like, I was afraid of my dad when I was growing up, you know? Anybody have a dad like that? You're just afraid of him? You know, not like those sitcom dads. They come home, the kids are like hugging their legs. My dad pulled in the driveway. Me and my brother's freaked like, fucking dad's home! Shut off the TV, try to hide. Dude, if I stand like this, do I look like a lamp? He won't see me, right? Can I just fucking chill out here? He wasn't understanding. When you fucked up, he told you. He didn't sit down, well, we're going to work it out. We'll just, you know, I still love you. He looked, you, what the fuck is wrong with you? Jesus Christ, you're an idiot. Weren't you even paying attention? No, bullshit. Christ, you're just like your mother. You're fucking out to lunch. That was my dad. No matter what he was bitching about, somehow he would make it about my mother. It would have nothing to do with her. He could somehow find a connection and spin it back. He'd have said, oh, is it raining out? Oh, for Christ's sake, I don't need this shit. Christ, it's the same goddamn thing with your mother. That woman is a fucking cloud hanging over my life. Anytime you got an idea, Christ, she shits all over it. No, he was hilarious. He used to work all the time, so he didn't really have like any friends or anything. So he used to talk to me when I was 8 years old like I was a fucking bartender. Just dumping all his shit on me. Like playing in the sandbox, he'd be coming up there. I tell you, I don't know what the fuck I ever got married for. I'll tell you, man, I'm going to get the fuck out. I swear to God, one of these days, when I get in the car, I'm going to fucking drive out of here. Your mother's a bitch, Billy. Do you realize that? The woman is a fucking bitch. Is that too real for you guys? You fucking know what I'm talking about. This is how screwed up my country is right now. Do you know Bryan Cranston, right? That dude did a movie he played a quadriplegic. And people gave him shit. Being like, why is there an able-bodied person playing a quadriplegic? It's like, it's because it's called acting, you dumb fuck. See, if he was a quadriplegic playing a quadriplegic, that's not acting. That's just fucking laying there saying shit that someone else wrote. So tell us, what did you do to prepare for the role? Well, I dove headfirst into the shallow end of a pool when I was 23. I feel like I've been preparing for this role for my whole life. Right, what is up next for you? Well, they're gonna do a reboot of Top Gun. I'm gonna fly it with my plane. And the co-pilot's gonna be transgendered, so everybody will be happy. She won't die. Her discarded dick will block her head from the canopy. There'll be a gender-neutral bathroom on the plane. How fucking dumb is that? That's literally like watching a movie. Why didn't you have a murderer play a murderer? And how come the guy he shot, I saw him in another movie? I mean, what the fuck is going on? Married, you know, I was making that. I'll definitely get married someday, you know. I love women and everything. I'm just finding I'm not, like, compatible with them. You know what I mean? You ever just feel that? Like, women have, like, too much energy for me. You know what I mean? Like, you can't have a day off when you have a girlfriend. You ever notice that? It's almost like they see that open day. They're like, oh, my God, let's go fill it up with shit. No, then they just come at you with one horrible idea after another. Horrible ideas. Like, you want to make some sandwiches and go to the park? You want to go to the Container Store, get some containers for your T-shirts? This is the worst one. Ever get this one? You want to go to brunch? You want to go to brunch on Sunday? And inside you're like, fucking no! But you can't say that, right? You got to keep them happy. So what do? You agree. Like, yeah, let's go to brunch. What a great idea. Why would you want to sleep in on a Sunday when you can go pay $18 for eggs? Now you're thinking. Then we can sit around to listen to your friends have moronic conversations about the eggs. Like, is that pesto? Is that pesto in your omelet? Oh, it's asparagus. It's asparagus. I thought it was pesto. Oh, you just want to flip the whole fucking table over? It's horrendous. I'm trying to learn to pick my battles when I date girls. I usually argue with women all the time, man. I'm stupid like that. You know? Like, I dated this girl one time. She was, like, really into, like, women's issues. So we used to always have these dumbass arguments. Like, one time she came up to me, she goes, okay, explain this to me, Bill. Why does a guy make more an hour to do the exact same job, huh? I go, I'll tell you why. Because in the unlikely event that we're both on a Titanic and it starts to sink, for some fucked up reason, you get to leave with the kids and I have to stay. Yeah, that's why I get the $1 more an hour. No, think about it. If there's a house fire, it's always women and children first. I got to stand there with, like, the back of my shirt on fire going, let's go, people, let's go, let's go. So that's how I look at it. No, it's $1 an hour surcharge. That if something fucked up happens, either I can't leave or I gotta, like, get in the way of it to give you a head start, like, rabid dog, run, honey, 1 Mississippi, 2 Mississippi. You hear a bump in the night, I gotta go check it out, like, yes, he does have a knife. Anytime there's a hostage situation, who do they negotiate for first? Well, at least let the women and children go. Well, what about me? Bullets hurt me too. Why the fuck do I gotta stay in the vault? No, that's my point, man. Where are all the feminists in those situations? You know what I mean? You can't find them. There are no feminists in a house fire. That's a guarantee. You could take the most hardcore feminist, some chick right in your face, like, you chauvinistic son of a bitch, little short, little haircut, the whole 9 yards, right? Second those flames break out, she's gonna twist those little hairs into pigtails. No, I'm just a girl. I want to go play jump rope. And leave you standing in a burning house like you're not flammable. You know, but I'm not a dick though. I'm not saying I think a woman should make $1 less an hour to do the same job. All I'm saying is if you're gonna make what I make when the boat sinks, you better be standing right there next to me, listen to that guy play the cello. Then you get the corner office. You get all the benefits or whatever. Actually, Nerd Jesus died in the last year, right? Steve Jobs. Yeah, he died, right? I know, a lot of nerds here tonight. I know, you're sad. I didn't get it. I didn't get the big deal they made about that guy. When he died, they were like, he changed the world. That was insane. He changed the world. The world was one way, and then Steve Jobs came, and it was another. What did he do? Somebody, for the love of God, what the fuck did that guy do? What did he do? He told other people what to invent? I want my entire music collection in that phone. Get on it! Right? And then these poor, nameless, faceless scientists got to go in a back room and figure it out. How the fuck are we going to get all of this into this? I mean, what year does this guy think this is? This is crazy. This is like Buck Rogers. Dude, my kid has a birthday in like 11 months. Steve Jobs just walking by. I don't hear any thinking going on in there. Just strutting around the office, eating some pretentious fruit like a pear, right? Just throwing out ideas. Well, there's another one. There's another one I just came up with on the way to work. I was reading a magazine the other day, turning pages, you know? I like to turn pages on a screen that aren't even there. Yeah, wrap your fucking heads around that, guys. See you in 8 years. Where you going, Michael? Big, little, get on it! Right? And all these people slave away to make his vision come true. And then they have the big nerd fest, right? Down there, Comic-Con, and all their nerd mecca. They're all showing up with their Acne and their Hulk shirts, limping into the arena, right? Does Steve Jobs go out with a whole chorus line of scientists? No, he goes out there by himself. Sneakers and no belt, like it was no biggie, right? like he's Tesla, tapping into the atmosphere. I know, this is always uncomfortable. I know, you bought into it, right? That whole advertising, the way they aligned themselves with some of the greatest people of all time. Jesus, Gandhi, me. Remember that? Muhammad Ali, John Lennon, this guy. How the fuck was that dude like any of them? Gandhi didn't have a sweatshop. Nah, he didn't have people leaping to their deaths only to catch a net and get ricocheted back through the window to have to put together yet another iPad. John Lennon didn't have children in his basement pressing those fucking albums. I know. New phone can't fit the old charger. This is your hero? This is the guy? This is what all the silence is about? New phone can't fit the old charger, so then you gotta throw it out, ends up in the ocean around some octopus's neck. Do you realize how much sea life is ecstatic that man is no longer walking the earth? That's where it all ends up, you know. Doesn't go in a landfill, ends up in the ocean. You realize that? I hate people who say I don't pollute. I don't pollute. Yeah, you do. You use shit and you throw it out. Well, you think because you put it in like a basket, it just poof, disappears? Everything you ever used is somewhere. You ever think about that? Remember that flannel shirt you bought back in the day when you got into Pearl Jam? That's out there somewhere. Probably on some porpoise's face. He's trying to get it off. Stupid little flippers. All the fads. You remember rollerblading? Remember that? Everybody had them. We set up cones, we did little tricks, right? One little homophobic joke killed that entire fad. What's the hardest thing about rollerblading? Telling your parents you're gay. Full-grown adults. Dude, I'm not gay. I don't have the cooties. These mean I suck dick. And they just threw them out. They end up in the ocean. They're made out of plastic. They can't biodegrade. They just break down to little cubes. Fish are breathing them in. 6 months later, you're going out, you're getting sushi. You think you're being healthy. You're eating your old rollerblades. All right, I'm out of time. You guys are great. Thank you. Thank you, thank you.
It's worse than that for people. Everyone's got an iPhone, you know?
Hey, look. No, I can't say that. I was going to say he's gone. They still came out with another one, right? That's true, right? Oh, look, when David Lee Roth left Van Halen, could Eddie not play guitar anymore? You know what I'm saying?
Right. That's a good analogy. What makes you feel old about watching TV?
Music, there's no guitar solos anymore. And then for some reason, with all this technology, millennials, if you take a full water bottle and you flip it in the air and it lands upright, they run out of the room like they just saw a witch. And I'm in the middle of watching the World Series, and out of nowhere, they have this moment, stand up to cancer. I'm watching a ball game, and all of a sudden, everybody stands up. No, there's a time and a place. Look, I know somebody that has died of cancer. I would never go to the movies with you and in the middle of it hit pause and be like, oh, by the way, Conan, I know this guy.
What your take is on Joe Biden?
His hand's on woman's hip, right? And then you take the picture and you just start writing a bunch of creepy shit about what he's doing. It's not like he went for side boob. He wasn't like sliding up. No, it's a total overreaction.
Is that the face someone makes when they're going for side boob?
I would think so, you know?
Here he's going. Conan's going for it.
I would say 13% of people on the internet are cool. The rest of them, they're just a bunch of animals. Why would you want to talk to them?
Wait, you're saying only 13% of people
are cool. 13% are cool. The other 87% are writing horrific stuff under YouTube videos. They're assholes.
Yeah.
Women are so overrated, right? We went from We went from not listening to them to now it's ridiculous. Like that believe women. It's like all of them.
Going around saying that 87% of the world sucks, you're not going to get one.
No, but this is the thing.
You're not going to give you one.
I can say that because there's nothing you can take away from me. What are you going to do? You're going to say I can't do stand-up in strip malls anymore? That's usually the punishment. So the genius.
There was a lot coming from the Hillary Clinton camp that Trump is bad for children. And they had a lot of ads that said, children are watching this guy.
Oh, we all know
talk.
that children 5 and 6 years old are always tuning into the debates. Taking notes. That's what I did when I was a kid. I'll never forget that. You never saw Weird Science, how creepy these nerds are? All these cameras on your phone, all of that. Do people go on Ancestry.com? Why would you send your saliva into the internet? Why would you do that? Why don't you just go to the Illuminati and help them build your robot replacement? I was making fun of the military, which you can't do now. Like, we totally went from Vietnam, all the hippies being like, hey, man, you're like a baby killer, man, to like now you got to give like a standing ovation when they walk over to Delta. You know what I mean? Show that you're not in ISIS. Like, I don't know what you have to be doing. Like, thank you. It's the millennials. You're a bunch of rats. All you're doing is trying to get people in trouble. That's all you're doing, taking pictures and recording people. He said this, but did you really mean that?
Well, what did you say about the military that got people so mad? Or this one guy so mad?
I was just saying, the guy who flies the fighter jet, okay, and has missiles shot at him, that guy's a hero. However, if you're the guy that, points in the direction that the plane takes off in...
So does your wife watch any of these games with you? Does she?
No, she has the female, complex, multitasking brain. That's why they can't be happy. They're like, what is that lizard that can look at two things at once? That's what they're like. So you got to figure out a way to thin out the herd, and it's too late. These are the hard decisions that are going to have to be made.
We're here to hear about some hard choices.
Yeah. So you know how I would do it?
What?
I would randomly sink cruise ships.
Now they're going after like 100-year-old guys. My question is, when are they going to go after the whores? Right?
What?
Why are you looking at me like you don't know what whores are?
Divorce. Oh, divorce. I thought you said the horse.
No, I said horse.
Jesus.
You're both wrong. I said horse.
Oh, horse. Horse. Wait a minute. Andy and I, this has never happened before where you and I both misunderstand.
Yeah. That's what killed me when Bruce became Caitlyn. That was like a national news story, like at a ridiculous level. He should have given us a chance to say goodbye. I watched him on the Olympics. I watched him on Chips. I watched him on that horrible show my wife watched where he just walks around in the background. And it's just like, that's what I've learned.
Oh, God.
You know what makes women happy? Nothing. Nothing makes them happy, and that is why they are slowly taking over the NFL, because it annoys them that we can just sit there with like a pizza and a drink, like, that's not holding, and just be like, and enjoy ourselves. And then also, you can't tell other people's kids not to do stuff.
Right.
So you got to kind of like be loudly like, hey, he's climbing up on the utility pole, and kind of hope that somebody does something. Well, back in the day, you could yell at people's kids, and I think that needs to come back, and that's what's holding back this country.
Yeah. 20 years, you work your way up to the front, and now still they won't let you.
Yeah, now that fat guy's considered disabled because he can't stop eating cookies. So he gets on. Look at everybody groaning. 90% of the world is starving to death. That guy. Eat a salad and get on the treadmill like the rest of us. We're all working out. What is the problem? The only thing I didn't like was that shot where he was playing hoop.
Yeah, it went viral, I think. He was playing basketball and he took a shot and went in.
He was playing with his black friend that he's paying to lose. Dude, I'll tell you right now, go do a show. Third show Saturday night in a comedy club. I'm telling you, you get an unhappily married woman in an undersexed marriage after a couple of drinks. I'm telling you, cover your junk, because she's coming full court press.
You're having a full-on breakdown.
I am not. You're just not listening.
I am listening to every word.
Didn't she, for the first 5 years, have like midgets who wanted to bang their mailman's boyfriend? And she didn't want to do it. She didn't want to do it, but she didn't have the power to say no, so she wrote it out. And then when she could make a good decision, she did a show. But she stood on the heads of those little people for 5 years until she got... And then she's sitting there across from this guy like, so how could you? You know exactly what he's doing. It's the stupidest thing I've ever seen.
Are you getting into the holiday spirit? We're getting close. Christmas coming up. Get excited? Come on.
Yes, I am. I actually like the holidays, and Thanksgiving is my favorite because you just get to eat and that type of thing. But I don't know. I don't like that Black Friday type of stuff. It just freaks me out. Makes me sad for Americans watching them getting trampled. You know?
Yeah. You don't like
why would you do that? Why would you do that to yourself? Why wouldn't you just admit that you can't afford it at regular prices? Come back the next day. Come back the next day like a gentleman. Just walk in there, pick out what you want, and if your kids get less, they get less. That gives them drive. You know, rich kids just sit around, you know, doing blow, sitting in Ferraris. They don't do anything. It's the poor kids that they make stuff happen. So yeah, you don't get trampled grabbing your wig, you know. Suspenders flying off. It's so sad. To do what? Get an above ground pool for $30 off? There is nothing in Walmart worth getting trampled over. There's nothing. It's processed meat. Processed meat, clothes, all of it. You're gonna get trampled. Like make it like a high-end store. Like you go into, I don't even know where. There's nothing worth getting trampled. It just makes me depressed.
Yeah.
That you would do that. And people sit out for like weeks.
There's a week.
They don't even go to Thanksgiving.
Yeah.
Like they're on their cell phone and their mom's crying. I just think you'd want to spend it with us. And you're sitting out there in that parking lot, feeling those people breathing down the back of your neck, just going like, knowing who you're gonna elbow. It's just the saddest.
There are women that waited 22 days at Best Buy. They waited 22 days.
And what did they get? What do you think they got?
I don't know.
They got trampled.
Yeah.
The thing is, if you're going to go there, you don't want to be at the front of the line. You want to be about 40 deep. And I figure you pop out of the line and you wait till that first wave or two falls down. And then you go over the top like Walter Payton back in the day. Roll out of it. But even then, you got to know where to go in the store. Like, where is the thing that is on sale, right? Where are those mint Milano cookies or whatever they have that you're going to make a beeline for? On that linoleum floor, you're going to blow out at these? It's the saddest thing. It's one year what people should do. You know, like Richard Branson, one of these hot air balloon rich guys, you should just like float in over them right before it and just start dropping everything that they want. But even then, they would start stampeding. Like, no matter how many hot air balloons he had.
No, it's a bad idea. You don't want billionaires in hot air balloons dropping toasters on people. That's a stupid idea.
You have like a little parachute. All right, gift certificates.